Hey y'all, what's up? Alright, so today's video is going to be finishing up the second part of that WCPS Math 6 review. Okay, so we're going to get that finished up. I know yesterday the goal was to record the whole thing, but I got bored. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to pick up with number 21, and we're going to get this finished. Let me go ahead and apologize now. The only spot I can do this was outside, and it's really windy. And my family loves wind chimes. So, there we go. Alright, so here we go. Start with number 21. Alright. Plus, it's also really windy. Alright, so which inequality represents the graph? Alright, so first thing I need to notice is, first of all, my circle is at positive 4. So all my answers should be at positive 4. Very good. Okay. Alright, I have an open circle. So the open circle again is going to mean that we're not going to include positive 4. So if it is an open circle, it's just going to be either greater than or less than. So I can go ahead and rule out B, and I can rule out C. Okay. Last thing I need to notice is my graph is going to the right. Okay. If it's going to the right, that means it's greater than. If it's going to the left, it's less than. So I'm looking for greater than 4. Greater than 4. My answer is A. Okay. Alright, 22. This was a bad idea, but we're going to make it. Alright. So on a particular day in Richmond, Virginia, the high temperature is 96 degrees. And the low temperature is 62 degrees. What is the difference between the high to the low? Okay. Key word is difference. Okay. So I'm going to go high to the low. So the high temperature was 96 minus low temperature was 62. 96 minus 62, they're both positive, so I've just got to take 96 minus 62. 4, 9 minus 6 is 3. So the difference is 34 degrees. Okay. All right. 23. Which value of R makes the number sentence shown true? 76 plus R is equal to 138. All right. First thing we need to realize is that plus sign is with the R. It is not with the positive 6. Now, what we also need to realize is, since I don't have a sign out front of that 76, I know that is a positive 76. So remember, when we talked about equations, I need to do the opposite of this. So the opposite of adding 76 is subtracting 76. So if I subtract 76 over here, I need to subtract 76 over here. I'm left with R. 8 minus 6 is 2. Can't take 7, 3, make that a 0, make this a 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. So R is equal to 62. Okay? Alright. And we're going to take a short field trip. Okay? Because the wind doesn't want me to cooperate outside. Okay? So we're taking a field trip. Field trip, field trip, field trip. This is a nice field trip because your parents didn't have to pay for it. Blah, blah, blah. All right. And here we go. All right. So, pick up with 24. What is an approximation for pi? Okay. Now, this was one of those units we did not technically get to yet. We were supposed to get to it this week, but stuff happens. Okay. But you should know pi from last year, okay, when you started talking about circles, okay? So basically what pi is, okay, if we have a circle here, we know circle is made up of the diameter, half of the diameter is the radius, and all the way around the circle is called the circumference. Okay? And all pi is the ratio of the circumference to its diameter. Okay? So if I were to find the circumference of this circle and divide it by the diameter of this circle, it should get me very close or exactly to pi. Okay? Now, pi is also made up of two parts. Okay? Either one, you can see pi as the symbol. It is also equal to 3.14, 15926, and that's as far as I get. Or you can also see it as a fraction 22 over 7. Okay? So we just got to see which of these is equal to here. Not 3.41, not 22 times 7, because we know, again, as that fraction, that is 22 divided by 7. So that one's out, that one's out. They flipped that fraction, that's wrong. So I know my answer is H, 3.14. Okay? If you also want to get some extra bonus points, if you can memorize the numbers of pi, give me a shout out. Okay? I bet you can. All right, 25. When simplifying the following, which operation should be performed first? Okay? So we're doing order of operations again. So that just means G for grouping. Well, I don't have any grouping signs. That's in like parentheses, brackets, fraction bars, whatever. Go to E for exponents. That is a terrible looking E. I don't have anything to the second power, third power, or whatever. MD for multiplying and dividing. Again, we go that left to right. AS, addition or subtraction. Again, we go that left to right. Okay? So don't have any grouping, don't have any exponents. So I need to look first, do I have any multiplication and division? Okay? Yes, I do. I have 4 times 3, and I have 18 divided by 6. But which one do I do first? Okay? Again, I got to remember my rule. I got to go from left to right. So this one shows up first. So my answer is C. Okay? All right. 26. Jeremy works at a sandwich shop and makes $7.50 per hour. Okay? So what that means, that is the ratio of $7.50 for 1 hour. Money and time are not the same thing. If Jimmy works 6 hours per day, about how many days will he need to work to make at least $400? Okay? So, keyword again is going to be about. So what I need to do first is if he works 6 hours a day, I need to multiply $7.50 times 6. 0 times 6 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 7 times 3 is 42. 43, 44, 45. Okay? So each day he makes about $45. Okay? Now, I need to figure out about how many days. So this is per day. So what I could do is I could take each of these and I can multiply it times $45. And I want to figure out which one gets me at least $400. Okay? So let's just go down the list. So take $45 times 6, 0, 0, 30, carry the 3, $270. Okay? That's not at least $400. So I know that's out. Okay? So $45 times 9, 0, 0, 45, carry the 4, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we get $405. Okay? So that's at least $400, and we got five extra dollars to spare. What I'm going to do now, if that's 9, I'm going to go ahead and rule out 7. I'm going to check 8 days, because I just want to make sure I'm right. Times 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I think I did something wrong there. 0, 0, 0. 32. Yeah, that's not right. But at least we can realize this. So we need to be at least 9 days. That should be $360. So that's not at least 400. All right, 27.
Hey, dog, baby.
Which ordered pair describes the point located on the coordinate plane? Okay. All right, so there's my point. What we need to realize is that point is on the y-axis. Okay. It's not touching the x-axis at all. So again, my coordinate is always going to make up of an x and a y. Now, if it's not touching the x-axis at all, I know my x is going to be 0. Okay? So I'm not going left or right any. I'm just going to go down to get to my point. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm going down, that means it's negative. So 0, negative 5. 0, negative 5. Okay? Reason D is wrong is because that's a positive 5. If it were to be positive 5, that means we would have went up 5. Okay? Now, here's what's wrong with A and C. Look where that negative 5 and positive 5 are. They're in my x coordinate. If that were to be true, my point would be up here on the x-axis, but it's on my y-axis. Okay? All right. 28. Positive 5 is the absolute value of blank. Okay, again, we talked about absolute value yesterday. That is my distance from 0. Okay? So, which of these is 5 spaces away from 0? Well, if I draw myself out a number line, here's 0. I know positive 5 is 5 spaces away from 0. And I also know that negative 5 is 5 spaces away from 0. So both negative 5 and positive 5 have an absolute value of 5. So it would be both positive 5 and negative 5. Okay? All right, 29. The relationship between x and y is 3 to 2. Okay? So x is 3, y is 2. Which table represents this relationship? So now we're going to that proportional relationships. Okay? What you need to remember with proportional relationships is that it has to multiply. If you add, it is not a proportional relationship. Okay? Well, first thing that we can easily do is we need to make sure one of our coordinates, x is at 3 and y is at 2. X is at 3, y is at 2. That one's good so far. That one's good so far. These both are out because, one, they don't even have this ordered pair, this ratio correct. Okay? Now, what I need to realize and what I need to check on my last two is I have to be able to multiply the same number for all of these. Okay? So if I multiply 2 times 3, that'll give me 6. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. 2 times 10 is equal to 20. Does that work over there? Over on this side, yes. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, so this one works out so far. If I look over here, well, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is not 5. Okay. If I multiply 3 over here, 2 times 3 is 6. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. This one, you're adding, which doesn't work. Okay. Because if I add 2 to 2 and gives me 4, well, 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 4 is 7. 2 plus 4 is 6. So this one doesn't work. Why? Because this one is adding. Okay? Adding does not work. So I know my answer is A. Okay? All right. We're getting there. We're almost finished. All right, 30. The distance between each letter on the number line is 1 unit. If the letter S represents 0, which number line is correctly identifies the integers -2, -5, and -7? Okay? So if S is 0, I want to find -2, -5, and -7. Now, here's what we can easily do. Well, -2 should be 2 spaces away from 0. So this would be -1, -3, so on and so forth. Okay? So if I look here, only one of these number lines is actually plotted at -2. And that's right here. So I'll automatically know my answer is H. Okay? All right, 31. If 16, 25, and 36 are perfect squares, okay, so we talked about perfect squares yesterday. So again, a perfect square is taking a number and multiplying it times itself. So like 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, so on and so forth. Okay? So what would be the next form? Okay? So all I've got to realize is I know 16 is that's 4 times 4. 25 is 5 times 5. 36 is 6 times 6. So I've just got to think about what's 7 times 7, 8 times 8, 9 times 9, and 10 times 10. So it would be A. 49 is 7 times 7. 64 is 8 times 8. 81 is 9 times 9. 100 is 10 times 10. Okay? All right, 32. Which situation represents a proportional relationship? And I even gave you this big key. Okay? So we're just multiplying. Now, it means if we're just multiplying, we're not going to add anything else to it. Okay? We're not adding anything to it. We're not taking anything away from it. Okay? So what you just had to look at, it was like, which one is it just going to be cut and dry? Okay? So F, renting a movie for $1.30 per day with a coupon. Okay, that means we're taking 50 cents off. That's not a proportional relationship because we're taking this part off. Renting a movie for $1.30 per day. Yes, that is a proportional relationship. So we know it's $1.30 for the first day, so on, so forth, so on and so forth. For $1.30 per day, along with paying a $5 membership fee. This is not a proportional relationship, okay? Because we have to pay this part up front and then this $1.30 per day, okay? J, renting a movie for $1.30 for the first day and then $1 for each day after that. So we're having to pay this for the first day, and then we're going to have to pay $1 for after that. Again, that's not a proportional relationship because we're having to add this on every single day with this other part. So the only true answer would just be renting a movie for $1.30 per day. All right, 33. The table shows the number of hours Lila worked out and the amount of money she earned. Which statement is true? Now, what I realize for each of these answer choices is I see this per hour over here and for every dollar earned over here. That is an automatic trigger. I know I have to find the unit rate. Okay? I got to find the unit rate. So what I realize is, this is what we talked about way back when, is I've got to take the amount of money I've earned divided by the hours. Okay? So I'm going to take $50 and I'm going to divide it by 5. And that gives me $10 per 1 hour. Okay? So my true answer is she makes $10 per hour. Okay? This wouldn't be true because this is should be for every 1 hour. Okay? That's the thing with a unit rate. Is a unit rate is just comparing everything to 1. Okay? We're finding everything for 1 hour. Okay? All right. 34. Solve the equation represented by the model. Okay? So first thing I need to do is figure out what is my model actually telling me first. Okay, so my squares are M, so I know that's an M, that's an M, that's an M. That's 1, that's 1, that's 1. So if I write that as an equation, again, the middle is always going to be equal to, so that's 1M, 2M, 3M is equal to 3. Now I want to figure out what is the value of M. What is the value of this M? Okay, again, M, this would be my variable because I don't know this value. So I need to get this variable by itself. So we'll figure out what operation am I doing here. I know that is multiplication. I'm multiplying 3 times M, and that is equal to 3. So I got to do the opposite of multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. That cancels out. 3 divided by 3 is 1. That's 1 times M, or just M. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I know my answer is 1. All right, 35. Which represents the variable in the following number sentence? So again, a variable is a number we don't know. And it's always represented by a letter. So Y is my only letter there. So I know my variable is Y. All right, 36. Which number should go in the blank to make this statement true? So what I want to do is I want to make this decimal larger than this decimal. The 10 doesn't mean anything. The 2 doesn't mean anything. I want to make this decimal bigger. So I've just got to figure out which of these numbers is bigger than 5. 6. If you have $5 and I wanted more money than you, which of these dollar amounts would be bigger? If I had $6. Okay. All right, last page. All right, 37. The inequality that represents the number of hours H. Ashton can work in a week is shown. So it's represented by this inequality. 40 is greater than h. Here's what you need to realize. That variable is on the right-hand side. I can't graph this until that variable is on the left. To get it to the left, I have to flip that sign. Okay? I have to flip that sign. Okay? So I've just got to read which sentence would actually mean h is less than 40. So A, the number of hours Ashton worked in a week must be greater than 40. No, because they were looking at this one. Okay? The variable was not on the wasn't on the left. We can't graph this until that variable is on the left. B, the greatest number of hours Ashton can work in a week is 40. Okay, not necessarily greatest. Okay, if that would be greatest, then that would be equal to. Okay, it's not. So I know B is out. C, the fewest number of hours Ashton can work in a week would be 40. If that were to be true, that should be less than or equal to 40. Okay, so I know that's out. So I know my answer has to be D. The number of hours Ashton can work must be less than 40. Because this is my inequality. H is less than 40. All right, 38. Look at the graph. Which two inequalities correctly represents the graph? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to write it the correct way first. Okay, so I want to go ahead. My circle is at -2, so I should have a -2 for each of these. And I do. Now, my arrow is going to the right, so I know that's going to be greater than. Since they use the variable x, I'm going to use greater than -2. Okay, it's greater than because it's going to the right, and it's also not equal to because my circle is not filled in. So what I can easily do right now is I can go ahead and mark out H and J. Now, I can write this opposite because I can put the variable on the right. But to do that, I have to flip the sign. So now I have -2 is less than x. I just got to look at my answer choices, and I should have opposite signs. This one does. This one does not because, yes, they put the variable on the right. They did not flip the sign. So I know G is out. I know F is my correct answer. All right, 39. Gina wants to ask 3/4 of the students in her class for her birthday party. What % of the class would receive an invitation to her party? Okay, so if I take the fraction 3/4, okay, I can technically do this one of two ways. We want to know what %. Well, I know % is out of 100. Okay, so if I do this, I can set that up. So I can figure out what can I multiply by 4 to get to 100. That'd be times 25 times 25. 25 times 3 is 75. So that would equal 75%. Or I can do my fraction decimal percent. I can take 4 divided by 3. 4 will go into 3 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0. Bring down my 0. 4 will go into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. Bring down my 0. 4 will go into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm done. Then if I take my decimal, 75 hundredths, I can move my decimal to the right 1, 2 places. 75%. Either way would work. So 75%. All right, last question. A group of 6 friends had 12 pets. What is the ratio of pets to friends? Okay. So pets to friends. So that would be 12 to 6. 12 dot dot 6. 12 TO 6. So which one is sitting as 12 to 6? It would be J. Okay. All right. So that's all of the WCPS review. So what you need to do is go back through the ones that you've answered. And if you missed any of them, go ahead and fix it. If you're still having a problem with one of them, you're not really for sure how you missed it or how I got the answer, just give me a message in an email or classroom or hit me up. Make sure everything for week 3 and 4 should be finished today. But what we're going to do is I'm going to give you till next Friday. Okay? Till next Friday. And that would be the 17th. So you need to make sure everything is done. Mainly it was just this WCPS review, and then you had a few different things here and there. Okay? All right. So again, if you got questions, message me, hit me up, and I'm here to help you. All right.